Morning, Raphali. How are you doing then? How's things?
So, yes, good morning. So nice to meet you, and I'm fine. So I'm at my office. So,
Oh,
okay.
great stuff. Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad that you're all right. What's the weather like in Madagascar at the moment?
So it's normal. So it's okay. It's fine. About the COVID, it's yes. The number of the person is increased, but not really.
Hmm.
And uh, and you know everything is okay.
Okay.
Now we can say everything is okay now
Yeah.
because uh, oh, except except the flight, there is no flight from the overseas, but internal flight is allowed, and all trip is allowed here in Madagascar. So yes,
Okay. Yeah.
it's
Is
okay.
it your winter or summer or what season is it in Madagascar at the moment?
We are in summer now, but there
Okay.
is no rain but habitual. So
Hmm.
people is it's a little bit worried because normally it's now is the main period with of rain season, but there is no more rain now. But we don't know
Okay.
how the impact of this year, especially about the agriculture and something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. It's just been it's the rainy season during the summer, is it? Is that when the sort of monsoons come and the rain comes?
So
Is when it's the rainy season? Is that during summer?
yes, yes, yeah, rainy season is
Okay.
yes during the summer. So now is the rainy season, but there is no more rain. So
It's
it's a little
yeah.
bit it's a stress of with the people because normally we have rain day per day in February like now, but now the last rain I think it was 10 days ago and no rain since 10 days. So it's not normal.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll just give you a bit of an introduction to myself. So my name's Joe. I'm the founder of a YouTube channel called DIY Herbs. I started it off when I had pet tree frogs when I was about 13, and it's just grown quite prolifically now. I've got about 6,000 subscribers, and the aim of the channel is just to show people how to keep reptiles and amphibians, how to make lights, how to create nesting systems, just how to look after animals, really. Um, and a lot of I keep golden mantellas at the moment, and a lot of my subscribers are really keen on getting involved with conservation and finding out more about what's going on out in Madagascar. So I was just wondering if you could tell me a bit more about yourself. So you're a biologist, a field biologist, are you?
Yes. So as I said, my name is Rafali, and I'm biologist. I'm researcher. I I'm a herpetologist. I started my research on chameleon in 2006, and then I moved step by step to other uh, species like frogs and over snakes and geckos, and now yes, uh, I'm member of chameleon specialist group at IUCN SSC. And yes, now I'm preparing my PhD on Mantilla coani. It's one species of frogs.
Okay, nice. That's great that you're doing a PhD. So you originally from Madagascar then? Was you born there?
Yes, yes.
Okay, and so how did you start off in biology and herpetology? How did you first start your career? What got you into it?
So when I was student at the university, so the Madagascar Voakajy, it is my my organization where I work now. uh, propose some topics about the research because Madagascar Voakajy have a collaboration with the university, and the university called all of the students and ask us if we who from us would like to do this research, and I said that yes, I can do it. It was about chameleon, as I said. My first research is about chameleon. It was about chameleon, and so it was my first research on herpetology because before I like to do birds, but
Okay.
since I started with chameleon, so I said no. I think I will continue with chameleon and other species of reptiles and amphibians.
Well, that's really interesting. So you went to university in Madagascar, did you? And then they asked you if you
So,
wanted to be involved in research.
University of Tuliara, so it's in the south of Madagascar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how many universities are there in Madagascar? Is there just one, or?
No, so no. At this time, when I was a student, there were only six mine university in the six mine town, like here in Tana, the capital, in Tana, Machinga, Fenerantsua, Diego, and Tuliar, and Tamatave. But no, there is some I don't know, some part of the university in some region of Madagascar, no. So, but still the main is the main institution is the sixth university, as I said before.
Okay, so
So
that's quite a lot. Yeah.
I was in one of the six. As I said, yeah.
That's quite a lot. I didn't expect there to be that many universities. I always thought the population was very small in Madagascar, but is there quite a lot of people?
Yeah, it's a lot of people
Because
because
yeah,
we are now about uh, 21 million.
really.
Yeah.
So all the exposure to Madagascar that Western people have is just from the Disney film Madagascar, and it just looks like a small tropical island just with animals on. So it's strange for us to think that there's millions of people that live there. Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, I'll just talk about Madagascar generally now. So yeah, there's a massive amount of wildlife, isn't there? Especially in the reptile hobby in England, there's a lot of people keeping reptiles, amphibians, different types of geckos and snakes and stuff. But just for my viewers, the panther chameleon, day geckos, phelsuma, leaf-tail geckos, all the mantillas, tomato frogs, and Madagascan tree boas, they all come from Madagascar. And it's quite a lot. It's really the panther chameleon and day geckos, for instance, are very commonly kept within the UK. And a lot of people absolutely love these. They fall in love with the species just from keeping them. And I think they'll be really interested in the sort of work you do. But just going back onto just the Madagascan animal population, I've heard there's no newts, salamanders, or toads in Madagascar. They don't exist. It's just frogs for amphibians.
Yes. There no salamander in Madagascar.
Yeah, it's very strange. You'd expect it's. I wonder why that is. It's very strange that you wouldn't have other types of amphibians.
Yeah, there is a lot of amphibians now.
It's crazy. So, yeah, I was on the. So how do you pronounce your organisation? Is it Voakajy?
Yes, Voakajy.
Oh,
Yes,
Voakajy. Voakajy. So with Voakajy, I noticed
Voakajy.
there's quite a lot of projects and protected sites in the north, the northwest, the west, and the central. But there wasn't that many protected sites in the south of Madagascar. Is that because is it more built up in the south? Is that more where the cities are? And
Not really about that, but as we start Voakajy at the first time, it's like a research institution about bats, and then the team move to the over taxa, like I said, chameleon and amphibian. And in 2008, we start to set up protected area. So all of the organization in Madagascar, but not only Madagascar Voakajy, choose the area where they will do the protected area. So it's normally according to the work that you did before. So we did more research in the east and north of Madagascar. So why we work now in the east and north? So because in the east, as you said, in the central east, we our site is about golden mantella, one species of chameleon. In the north is about our site is on baobabs. So it's also in the west is on baobabs. So where this area is where we did more research. So we know very well this area. So and in the south, there is some institution who is in charge of south of Madagascar. But yeah.
Okay, yeah. So in the east, you've got quite a lot of mantilla sites going on in
Yeah.
the sort of central east area. Okay. I just is in Madagascar. Is it quite a passion to look after and conserve the wildlife? Is it a passion of the people of Madagascar to protect the wildlife? Because I noticed that it said on the Voakajy website that they try and nurture the next generation of scientists from Madagascar. Do you really try to get young people involved from Madagascar and get them involved in the organization and just for protecting wildlife?
Yes, in Madagascar, protecting wildlife is not really a passion of all of the people because most of the people don't know of wildlife here in Madagascar, except some, as I said, some researchers, some people working conservation organization. So at Voakajy, we work with adult person, but we try to work with young people to guide them on the conservation and about biodiversity, about wildlife, about something like that. Uh, so so why we do this kind of activities in set where we go.
Okay, so you do try and get young people involved. It's I think it's a really good thing that you're doing. So how involved is Voakaj in providing protection status then? Do you really fight for certain areas to become protected?
Oh yes, because we already created 7 protected area in the central east of Madagascar. So one of them where golden mantilla is occurs. So we have 7 protected area now, and in the north we started since 2018 to create one protected area. So to create the protected area is one of the why to ensure the conservation of the site against all of the threat, especially like slash and burn agriculture, which is commonly used in the central east of Madagascar. So we do this protected area to protect the sites with all of the wildlife inside. But
Yeah.
we do it in collaboration of local people also with their agreement. We ask them if they agree that we will protect this area together with them.
Oh, great. Yeah. So there's seven areas, and you work collaboratively with local residents of Madagascar. No, it's and that's quite a large number really when you think of it, because I mean in England I think we've only got maybe 3 or 4 different protected areas, protected sort of national parks and stuff like that. So for you to do that in Madagascar, well, we've got a lot of resources to put in place protection agreements and protect the land. Whereas you guys, you've got to work quite closely with residents. So I think you're doing a fantastic job. So where does your funding come from? How do you afford to be able to do all this?
Yes, we don't have really as a main funder, but in our organization we try to get funds if from everywhere, from everywhere. So uh, we have a project, so we submitted in all of the funders. So when there is a call of funding, so we submit our project, and the it depend on the funders.
Okay, yeah.
Uh, uh, but we have a partner with Chester Zoo, but Chester Zoo support us in our work in Mangabe about golden mantela, lemur survey, and conservation with local community. Uh, we work also with University of Kent about data analysis, something like that. We work also with University of Bangor about some project that we do here in Madagascar about research, social research, and some conservation activity.
All right, yeah. I noticed that it was Chester Zoo on your website, and also the University of Kent. But with Chester Zoo, I think a lot of in the UK, a lot of the zoos have had to close because of the coronavirus. They're not allowed guests in.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
have you felt an impact on funding from? Because I mean, a lot of zoos have actually had to close down or send their animals
yeah.
into other zoos in Europe. Have you felt that impact through like lack of funding? Has there been a reduced funding because of that? Or
Yes, I think yes, because it's not only because of Chester Zoo, but most of uh, most of the funder most of the funder closed the funding because they don't have also money to fund the project. So we have this problem now. This impact will be. I think we will get more of this impact this year than last year, because last year we already have some fund year before, but this year I think it will be have an impact in our organization.
yeah, it's amazing what an impact the coronavirus is having on everyone. To be honest, but just go back onto your research. I noticed, yeah, you've been around for a long time because there's some research papers that I found from back in 2007 that you was a part of. Um,
Yeah.
so you've been around for years, but just to raise a bit of awareness to my viewers, so Voakajy have been involved in quite a lot of research with golden mantellas, Brookesia, dwarf chameleons, Phelsuma day geckos. One of the research was in 2019. It was about microhabitat preference of golden mantella. So I think you was a part of that. I think Raphali, and you go into the Moramanga district and you try to understand more about the habitat of the golden mantella because apparently in the wild it's well in captive husbandry people know how to look after mantellas, but it's not massively understood about what they actually want when they're in Madagascar in the wild. And you come? I think you drew some conclusions that the preferred areas with a lot of leaf litter, and I think one of the conclusions from the research paper was that the breeding ponds were not connected to where the mantellas live. So he was trying to bridge the gap and create pathways to the breeding ponds.
No, yes, yeah, I already there in Muramanga. So last week I was there in Muramanga, in the area
Okay.
where golden mantella occurs, in one of our protected area. So uh, golden mantella is forest dependent species. So during the rainy season, like now, from December until January, most of the individual of most of the frogs will go in the ponds where there is some water because of the rain. So they start to breed, and the female lay eggs around the ponds, and then the and then the during the winter, when there is no more rain, the frogs go out of the ponds and go in the forest. The forest is connected with the pond. We do not we don't create it, but it's naturally inside of the forest, the pond. So during the winter, the frogs go out and stay in the top of the forest, just in the leaf litter and the yes in the leaf litter, but in the top because in the high part of the forest. So they stay in the high part during the winter, and they it's like something like that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So they stay in the sort of high part of the forest, and then when it's the rainy season and it fills up, the ponds fill up. They move to the area of the pond, lay the eggs on the edge of the pond, and then does the rain just wash the tadpoles inside the pond, and that's where they live.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's interesting because we don't see that side of mantellas in England. We just see them in tanks. So it's interesting to know what goes on in the wild. I noticed there was Voakajy, or it might have been just you, Raphali, when I was doing some research, but it said there's there's a species conservation strategy for the golden mantella, and this is to try and combat illegal mining, which ruins the mantella ponds. What are people mining in Madagascar?
So in Madagascar, so yes, it's illegal because first they don't have permit to do this activity, and second, some of people do the gold mining inside of a protected area, which not also allowed. So why we said as illegal, but the area in the central east of Madagascar is some of the area is high potential of gold. So why people try to dig and find gold in area? Some of them are in the pond of the species.
Oh, right. So that has a knock-on effect. I suppose when you've got a population of people that can make a lot of money from digging up and finding gold, uh, a lot of the time they'll choose the money rather than choosing to look after the species. They'll take it for granted, won't they? Is that quite common then, gold mining in Madagascar?
Uh, I can say yes, but but I can say no also.
Yeah.
Yes. In some area it's yes, and especially when and it depends on the period of the year also. During the rainy season when people is very busy about the agriculture, about the farming, so there is no more people go to the gold mining. But when they finish the period of farming is finished, so they don't have many things to do, so they go for gold to try to find gold and like that.
Okay. I saw on the website it said that you salvaged golden mantella frogs from Ambatovi mining area. What happened there? Was there just a big mine and there was loads of golden mantellas, and did you all just go out there and collect them and nurture them?
Yes, now we stopped this activity because it's but before, yes, we did we did like we about this big mining company, and they will they will dig, they will destroy the forest and for the company, but what we do is to try to find golden mantilla in area where they will be destroyed, and bring them to the area where, because there is some forest that will be conserved around the, not so far from the area, the mining area. So we bring the individual, the frog from the area where there is will be destroyed, and put them in the area where the conservation zone of the mining, and doing some survey about this. But we stopped this activity since 2017, 18, I think. Yes.
That's amazing that you actually did that. It's nice to think there's people out there to rectify the problems that we encounter with sort of deforestation and stuff. Did the company tell you? Did they ring up and say there's loads of we've just accidentally dug up the forest? Do you want to come and help, or did you see it coming a mile off and then just turn up?
No, normally it's one of conservation. Conservation is one of the activity, because they can't. Right, it's like part of a contract with the state, because they will destroy some part of the forest, so they should save some part of the.
Oh right, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so it's like a Madagascan government sort of thing. They enforce that.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Yeah.
I think there is another institution. We'll continue our work about saving golden mantilla from area where they will be destroyed and put them to the area, to conservation zone of the mining site.
Oh, great! You're doing a really good job, Raphali. It's really humbling to think that there's people out there that's protecting these species. So, just a personal question: what's your favourite Madagascan animal?
Wow. Now I can say one species of chameleon. It's a jeweled chameleon. It's found in the highland savanna, and it's in central highland of Madagascar. I can send you the picture of this species if you want.
Yeah, of course. That'd be great. So it's the jeweled chameleon.
Yes.
I saw a bit about it on Google, but yeah, it looks like a really beautiful, colourful chameleon.
Yeah,
that's good. I've got some questions for you at the end. I've just written them down. So, can people in the UK send you supplies? Is that possible? Can we send Voakajy different supplies?
Yes, of course.
What kind of equipment do you mostly need?
So for us, because now we have in Voakajy we have two we have two departments. One department is about research, but it's a department that I am the lead, and one department is about community and conservation. So it's one department, but one of my colleagues is the leader. So like with Department of Research, we need some material about research, like head torch, weather jacket. Because in Madagascar there is no good of this material. Most of the time, we buy it from Amazon or from our partner, like Chester Zoo, give us some material like that about field research material, like something like that. So it's really big thanks to if we have this kind of material. And also like material, I think material about uh, for the education. Also, it's I think it's really good because when Chester Su team was here in Madagascar, they bring some small books about education, and we because we work with the school as we discussed, because we work with the young people, so we use some small books to try and to help to teach them about biodiversity. And some of the books is about English languages. So because in Madagascar, English is not really common. So why also you can see, but about my English is not very good.
No, it's
I
very
just
good. It's very good because
I'm just trying to to do my best. So we also try to teach some our local partner to have a basic of English. So we some kind of material is very important for us. So I think we yes.
okay. So I've got waterproofs, torches, educational books on biodiversity and how to speak English.
Yeah.
Those are kind of the key things that you would be interested in. Okay, I'll write that down. Also, yeah, you don't give yourself enough credit because you do speak very good English. Because do you speak Malagasy and French as well?
Yes.
Yes. Do you speak more? Do you speak three languages or more?
So in Madagascar, so I speak Malagasy because I'm from Madagascar. So French is the first international languages for Madagascar. So during my school period, so I I used more French, so I can speak French easily than English, I think.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, to be able to speak three languages, it's not very common in England or the UK. We usually can just speak English. We can't speak any other languages. So, for someone to be able to speak as well as you do with three languages, that's very good. So, you should give yourself more credit for the language. Another question I've got: Can people from Europe and England can they come and visit Voakaj in Madagascar?
Yes, yes, of
Uh,
course. Just we hope that the flight will be happen, and we can. Yes, I think yes, we can. You can. Yes.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people would be interested in coming and sort of helping with conservation, or at least filming the wildlife and filming what you do, just to show the world, what difference you're making, so that they can donate more. But is there any field trips that people can take part in?
Yes, like we did. We do golden mantella survey 3 times a year. We do it about November, December, when the species start the breeding season. As I said, they start to go to the pond to breed, and the second visit of golden mantella is about like now about February. Now our team is in the field for the second visit of to survey the golden mantella and the habitat. And the last visit of both golden mantella is like in March, because it is the last period of breeding season, to try to find if all of the individual is very still individual in the pond, and to try to understand why this individual still in the pond. And but every time, so we can do some short visit in the field, because we have an office in Muramanga. There is a team, and we have also some people based in in the area, in the village. near of the site. So we can do all of you. There is many people to go to the sites because there is also some project about youth and lemurs who go in the field mostly during the winter season because they will work with local community because during the rainy season most of the people in the site is busy about the farming, but during the winter season they have more time to work with our team about youth and community conservation and community development. So
Okay,
we can visit the sites every time all of the year.
okay, yeah. Oh, that's really interesting. So, if somebody from England wanted to book a trip to Madagascar, are they best to email Voakajy and just say I was looking at booking a trip, and then book the flights, and then would Voakajy be able to offer any advice on where to stay and trips and stuff? Is it just a case of just emailing you?
I think yes. If you need some help about us about logistics here, so we have to discuss it early, and we can try to to give us time to find the best with the best of to organize the logistics. So yes, I think it's
Okay, yeah. Well, that's really good then. So I'll pass that on to my subscribers because I've got about 6,000 subscribers on YouTube, and then on the Facebook groups I've got the dart frog group that they love dart frogs and also mantillas. It kind of goes hand in hand. And also there's a mantilla group, there's a reptile group, there's a chameleon group. I think a lot of these people would be interested in donating or sending supplies to Voakajy or even coming out for a trip. And now that they know that all they have to do is just get in touch to work out the logistics of going there and staying and stuff. And also the cultural impacts that they can have, going to villages and speaking to young people, helping them with their English and stuff like that. I think that's definitely another area of interest. So yeah, thank you for that. Do you have anything that you want to say to anyone, to my YouTube subscribers? Just about Voakajy generally, or?
Oh yeah. Okay. So at Voakajy we are a Malagasy association work on biodiversity conservation. So so what? We are open for all collaboration about conservation in Madagascar. So and we also need help from all of people from the world because it's here in Madagascar. It's more difficult to work on conservation because of most of the people is very small. More people do not understand why we do conservation, but we do our best to conserve all of the wildlife. So we are open to all kind of collaboration, and yes, we need support from from all of you, and yes, you can come in Madagascar, and we can help you also for organizing your visit and something like that.
Yeah. That's amazing, Raphali. Thank you so much for your time. I won't take any more time of yours up because it's been about 40 minutes now. But I just want to say, thank you very much for having me on and talking to me. And I think with a bit of luck, we can raise a bit of money or raise supplies I'm sure that this video will make a difference. So thank you very much. I'll let you get on with your day.
Okay, thank you also. Thank you to you too. And yes, we keep in touch, and I think we can. Yes, I will send you photos of Jewel Chameleon.
Yes, please. Yeah, I'll put it on the video as well. I'll get that uploaded.
Okay.
Right. Thank you very much, Raphali. It's been really nice meeting you.
Okay. Thank
Speak to you
you.
soon. Bye.
See you. Bye.